Wonderful. We want to appreciate God for yet another privilege and opportunity that God has given to us to be coming to you. And I am trusting that you will be blessed with this particular segment. We have been talking about different realities in the realm of the spirit, different spiritual truths that relate to life. And I've just been talking about the laws that govern spiritual life. And I just want this particular day to talk about the different analogies that can help us to champion life. And there are two books that I have here. One is called Championing Life, and then this one is called Winning in Life. And there are different things that I just want to highlight. Probably they will help us to look at life better. You see, perspective is very important. The perspective you have about a particular reality determines the manifestation that you're going to foster. This world is ruled and mastered by knowledge. What you know determines so much how you respond to different realities that come your way. Our pivot scripture is taken from Luke chapter 11, verse 52. The Bible tells us, "Woe unto you, teachers of the law, you have taken away the key of knowledge." He's talking about the key of knowledge. And when you talk about a key, you are talking about a system of access. A system that gives you permission. Luke 11:52. This one says, "Woe unto you lawyers, woe unto you teachers of the law, for you have taken away the key of knowledge. You yourselves are not entering, and you hinder those that are entering." So, what you know determines the dimensions and the levels of manifestation. So, in the analogies that I want to mention here, the first one, the analogy of life is a school. And the key factor here is learning. What have you learned in life? There are different lessons, there are different experiences that we go through. From the time of birth to the time of death, there are different things that come to us. And they are designed to bring you to a place of wisdom, the place of function. So the primary part in this particular segment or analogy of life is a school is knowledge. What have you learned? What you know determines how far you go. Knowledge is a foundation upon which wisdom operates. Without knowledge, you can never come to a place of understanding. So it's important for us to know that life, one of the analogies of life is that life is a school. How much do you know? To which degree of competence do you stand based on that which you know? We have different professions. People have gone to school and they have learned some things, but others have only learned, but they have not become competent. Some of them, their knowledge has only remained theoretical and it is not practical. They have not entwined and experienced what they know to bring them into dimensions of function. So here, it's important for us to know that life is a school. What you know is going to determine a lot. What you know will determine your personality, will determine your mentality, will determine your expressions and attitudes. Knowledge is key. Engage it. Seek knowledge. Understanding and wisdom comes from God. But knowledge we gather. So you need to be very intentional in this dimension of existence, looking at life as a school. What are you learning? What knowledge are you growing? There is what we call selective ignorance. This is when you choose to ignore some things, but everything that is of value, engage. Number two, life is a marketplace. And the key factor here is value. What are you bringing on table? Here we begin to understand the elements of exchange. Just because you're a human being, not everyone is going to be attracted to you. No. Your value is very important. How do you increase your value? You might be a lawyer, you might be an accountant, you might be a preacher. Whichever profession you have, which value are you adding unto others? That is going to determine what comes to you. Things like honor. People don't just honor you just because you're a human being, but the impact and the influence that you release in their lives is very key. So here, life is like a marketplace. As you are navigating through life, what are you offering to this world? What is your influence? What is your impact? What is the leverage of exchange that you can release unto your society? You're not just going to be recognized. People are honored basing on their achievements and basing on their release and impact they have caused in society. And number 3, life is a journey. When we are walking on the journey, there are people who start and end on the way. Some people start projects and give up. Some people start different pursuits and give up. Ladies and gentlemen, if it is a journey, it has a beginning and it has an end. Don't give up on the way. In whichever way you have started, if you know that this is your purpose, this is your goal, this is your passion, this is your vision, you need to know that you have begun walking a particular journey. And many times when we are walking in this journey of life, people forget the enjoyment and the privileges and the benefits that find us on the journey before we get to our destination. When people are pursuing, probably they are pursuing their destinies, some look at the destiny and they forget that God has designed some stopovers in life, some benefits along the way that motivate you and allow you to enjoy the whole journey. There are things in our academic circles we have, like our primary 7, where you start there and you're aiming at primary living examination, or when you pass you feel that is a victory, what they're celebrating, and then you go to our ordinary level or A level or O level and then A level. But every platform, every stopover is designed to bring you a particular dimension of satisfaction and fulfillment. There are people that God brings us on our journey. So as you are walking, don't just look at your end and you forfeit and forget everything around you. There are things, stopovers. When you are on a long journey, when you use our buses, there are stopovers for refreshment, stopovers for just relaxation. So remember that life is a journey. Don't rush. Every beat is designed to add you to a certain dimension of galvanization. It empowers you. It refreshes you. So life is also a journey. Don't rush. Enjoy every bit and you will succeed. Another analogy that I want to highlight is life is like a field. A field like a football pitch. If it is a field, you need to know that that game on that pitch is demarcated by time. It has particular rules, but the key factor here is skill, the tools of trade. In whichever field God has placed you, there are skills that you need in order to achieve the heights of potential release. Many people forget to sharpen their skills, to amplify their skills, to upgrade. We may go for further studies. We may have personal and self-studies, personal development. one of the things that we must learn to develop on a personal level beyond our intellectual capacity is skill development. What are your tools? Now we are in the age of AI. There are different things that we can learn and do better with high speed to save a lot of time. So if we are looking at life as a field, get to know that it is time bound. And number two, how you use your skills is going to determine your value and relevancy. It's going to determine how you are going to receive back from this world. It is going to determine how you will be celebrated. It is going to determine how you will glorify God. So when you forget to sharpen your skill, probably you're a preacher. What are some of the skills that you need to build, to sharpen? Which tools do you need in your library? What are some of the things that you need to be able to rise above average? So remember, the key factor here is a skill. The tools of trade. Is it a computer skill that you need? Whichever skill, just get to know. If you're going to enjoy life, you must know which skill can you operate, can you function with competently, consistently, which does not strain and stress you. Another analogy that I want to mention is that life is a garden. Now here, we are talking about cultivation and fruitfulness. What are the fruits that you are harvesting? Or what are the seeds that you are planting in this garden so that you will harvest them? How do you nurture the seeds of greatness that God has given to you? How do you nurture that particular thing that fuels your life? That particular thing that brings refreshment into the corridors of life? Which seeds are you sowing? Are they spiritual or carnal? Which seeds are you sowing? Are they seeds of hatred? Whichever seed, the Bible tells us in Galatians 6 that God cannot be mocked. A man reaps what he sows. So which seeds are you sowing? As long as this life remains, you will harvest. Are you sowing division? Which seeds are you sowing? And which seeds are you cultivating? Because after we sow, we cultivate until we see fruitfulness, until we see productivity. There are many people who have sown seeds that they have started things, but they fail in what we call the wisdom of continuity. You plant something, but you don't cultivate it. You plant something and you want to get results immediately. This is a garden. You plant today and it takes time to harvest. So you need also to understand that. Some people plant something today and the next day they are trying to follow up to see whether their fruits, their seeds are really yielding. But there are laws and principles that govern seed and harvest. It's imperative that we know that life is like a garden. What are you sowing? You will reap the same. They talk of the laws of karma, but we will not go there. But I want you to remember this. That's a principle. What you sow, you will also reap. Another analogy that I just want to highlight is life is like a courtroom. Life is like a courtroom. There are some times when you need to understand the reason why you do what you do. You need to work with living testimonies of the realities of life. When we talk of a courtroom, we have a judge. We also have a lawyer. We have also the people on the bench, the other side. Which reasons do you have that sustain your continuity? Why do you stand on the convictions of your heart? How do you quantify them? What are the experiences that gives you the reality of your convictions? Because you must be a witness. You must have evidence. So as we are going through life, there are things that we go through. There are convictions that must sustain and sponsor our continuity. What are some of the things that you have experienced that give you authority to say what you say and do what you do? In law, there is what we call authorities, precedents. What are some of the things that you have experienced that makes you a good witness to what you say, to what you believe, to what you sustain in life? So you need evidence, you need testimony. Don't run away from experiences. There are things that God allows you to go through, but they are going to give you a certain dimension of authority because you have gone through them. You have experienced them. You are the first witness. Remember, God is the judge. Don't allow people to judge you anyhow. Look at yourself. How do you interpret the realities of your life basing on truth? For example, in court, they base on the Constitution. But here we are talking about basing on the truth, which is the Word of God. How do you quantify your testimonies, your experiences? Because if it aligns with the written word, our Constitution, then because you have gone through it, you gain authority therein. And you are able to champion on different premises. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want us to understand that God gives us life as an open check. Your investment is very important. Your diligence and commitment to the different realities is very important. Where are you willing to invest? Are you going to allow circumstances to ride you? Are you going to allow situations to overtake you? No. There is a place of intentionality. You can choose. If you want to rise in the academic realm, no matter the limitation, the financial retardations, no matter the challenges, some walk distances to get to their academic centers, educational centers. But if you have determined, you will harvest. Which seeds are you sowing? You must be intentional. How are you developing yourself? What are some of the skills that will make you a forerunner in the realms of, in the markets of life? Why should somebody look for you? Why should somebody favor you? It's only God who will favor you unconditionally. Every man has a reason. Your value. What is your weight in life? Are you building your value? These are things that we technically become intentional at building. When I get to study my Bible, I don't want to be a shallow preacher. I don't want to be somebody who is going to navigate on the shores of life. I want to go to the depth and the realities that God has ordained for me. What is your commitment to the pursuit of knowledge? Who are your mentors? To which degree do they influence you? Because our mentors, they influence our language, they influence our thinking, they influence our actions, they influence a lot. To which degree are you aligned? If the Bible is your basic textbooks, if it's your constitution, what are the clauses that master you, that gives you authority to stand against the challenges of life, that cause you to stand against the forces of life? God has given you life as an open check. Whichever field you want to champion in, you must be intentional at building it. Proverbs 22:29 says, see a man diligent in his business, he will not stand before obscure men. Beloved, live life with a sense of intentionality. Invest in the spirit, invest in the soul, invest in your mental realm, invest in your emotions, invest in every dimension. When you don't invest even in your physical body, give it the necessary vitamins, the necessary rest that it needs, it will tear down, it will break down. The soul, we have the mind, we have the will, and we have the emotions. There are times when you need to be happy, to experience the ecstasy of our emotional life, to have time to laugh. Some people can be so gloomy, so tough, because they are racing in life. Yes, there is a time to rest, there is a time to relax, there is a time to enjoy and reflect and offer thanksgiving to the Lord, basing on where you are in the journey of life. Don't take it as one marathon. It's a journey, and this journey, there are stopovers. There are times when you were a child, there are times when you were youth, there are times when you have become mature, grown up. And then with your maturity, sometimes you will need to adjust to play with these little ones, young ones, and they can revitalize you. Time to go and just refresh and just reflect and just think about life and just think about God and think about nature and think about many other things. Don't rush through life. God has given us time. God has allowed us to be intentional. So how you invest that time is what is important. Every moment, what value are you emitting, or what value are you investing into yourself? What is coming out of you? You are a created entity, but you are also given dimension and creative potential. What is coming out of you? Life is given to you as an open check. How are you managing it? Your intelligence is important. Your social alliance is very important. Your general communion with God is very important. Spiritual excellence, spiritual tenacity, very important. When you neglect one particular dimension, you will end up walking into dimensions of frustration. Now, after we have done that, there is what we call packaging. You need to brand yourself. Who are you? What should people define you with? What should people know you about? You are not going to be a master of all trade. There should be something that is unique about you. We call that branding. It carries your identity, it carries your uniqueness, it carries your significance, it carries your value. All these things must be wrapped up in something that defines you, that allows you to be marketed. If somebody is talking about you, what is this? The simplest and the shortest statement of value that they can talk about you. What do you know most? What is your area of specialization? Because when you fail to brand yourself, when you fail to specialize, when you fail to know the particular field that God is calling you to master, chances are you will never rise above natural and spiritual limitations. The forces of retardation, the forces of limitations are very many. And they will target the areas of your excellency. They will target the areas where your value is supposed to be amplified. But when you know your field, when you know your area of specialization, you will invest more time therein. I am a preacher, but I read some books on science, I read some politics, I read some things, but I know where to invest more. I know where to put my time more. So, ladies and gentlemen, remember this. Life is given to us as an open check. You're given abilities, you're given time, you're given energy at different particular moments. You're given opportunities. How do you use it? How do you use your time? How do you use your energy? How do you use your opportunities? The privileges in life are not going to last long. Every opportunity you maximize determines the liberties you are going to enjoy in the next seasons of life. Ladies and gentlemen, don't live life to fate. Be intentional. Know what you are doing. Now we have the 12 months of the year. What is God teaching you this month? What is God teaching you next month? What is the spirit realm communicating to me in this particular realm? For today, I'll end here. But may God bless you. May God cause you to champion and rise above natural and spiritual limitations. Don't allow the world to define you. Give it a platform for definition. You know yourself better. God knows you. God reveals you to you, and you are the one to tell the world who you are. Sometimes you need to blow your own trumpet. God bless you.